Hello, welcome to Knitpicks Yarn Stories. I'm Alexis.
And I'm Andy.
And today we're going to talk about Bubbly Bouclé. This one is, I think our team is really excited about. And it's one that, again, we brought in as a bear in the summer of 2018 with a bunch of other bears. And it is a Merino and alpaca blend. So it is 82% super fine alpaca, which is nice and soft, and then 13% merino. And then it has 5% nylon in here, which adds a little stretch to it. And one of the things, so it's been in a bear for about 5 years, and we were seeing a lot of projects and gnomes were being made in them.
Many
and
gnomes.
Figurines and just kind of, it's a bouclé, and bouclé has its love, the people that love bouclé. The team convinced me that it was time that we should do this. So in November of 2023, we came out with a very fun color array of bouclé colors in our bouclé blend. With the bear that we introduced in 2018, it was originally named Alpaca Merino Bouclé, and it was classified as fingering. But as we started using it and weren't going just by the yardage, we decided it really does work up more as a sport weight. So when you start looking for the bear, it will be under the Bubbly Bouclé and sport weight. But no, it's the same exact yarn. It was listed as the fingering when it was initially brought in.
And when we added in colors, we wanted to give it a more fun name than just bear, alpaca, merino bouclé. And we thought it looked so effervescent and bubbly with all the little bouclé loops that we named it Bubbly Bouclé.
Yeah, and that's where it started. So you have knit a wonderful project in this.
When we were picking out colors, we had two sort of frames of mind for what people use bouclé for. It's very commonly used in like kind of more fashiony cardigans and sweaters, like the one I'm wearing, like vintage inspired, but also more trendy pieces. So we went for very bright, trendy colors and with like
yellow and red.
Cheerful,
Really
but like
great
a
pops.
little bit of sort of that mid-century bright color palette in mind. And the other thing we saw people were using the bear a lot for were gnome beards, sheep stuffed figures, just like adorable little creatures. And so we wanted to include plenty of neutrals to use for figurines.
Nice. Yeah, so a nice color palette with the neutrals that do accentuate with
They coordinate really well.
They coordinate really well with them. So we're really excited to see what people come up with the bouclé projects.
Yeah.
And
knitting with it is a really unique experience because of those loops. I recommend sticking with it past the first couple of rows because you will develop a rhythm. Initially, it's very easy to catch the loops, but like once you've got your second or third row, you'll get a nice workflow. So don't give up on it if the loops get a little bit caught on your needles. It just takes a different feel, and then it's pretty fast to knit with, and the yardage is incredibly generous. This cardigan is maybe 350 grams worth of yarn, and so because you get so much loft from the loops, you don't need that much yarn to knit a whole sweater, and then your finished piece weighs almost nothing, like incredibly light, but still very warm from the alpaca content.
And I would say, you know, from just the loops, a pretty simple stitch pattern. You don't want to get fancy with it at all.
Yes.
Just because you won't see it.
Yes.
Similar to Wonder Fluff, it's very hard to see when you get that loft in there.
Yeah.
So you can keep it simple.
But that also means it's very forgiving if you do make mistakes. You will never see them.
So for beginners, challenging, but mistakes can be hidden.
And it just is a dream to like feel. When I was knitting this project in the office, everyone who saw it wanted to touch it, and it's just like incredibly soft and squishy and a very unique texture. Once you try it, you'll be planning a ton of bouclé projects. And that's the story of Bubbly Bouclé.